All right, operations with scientific notation, part dos. Now we're going to divide with scientific notation. So again, the steps are right here along the left. If you need to copy them down, go ahead and do it right now. You can pause the video if you need to. But I'm going to move on to some examples pretty much right away. The steps are actually pretty similar. Still goes along the lines with working with your coefficients and your powers of 10 separately. And then there's always that step where you can adjust your scientific notation in the end if you need to. So I'm going to go through the examples using the rules. So first example I have 4.5 times 10 to the fifth over 1.5 times 10 to the third. Remember that fractions mean division, so this is a division problem right here. Step one says separate. Now, the way I like to do that, just to help me visualize what's happening, I draw a line right down the center, just knowing that I'm separating the coefficients and the powers of 10. Now, step two says to divide my coefficients. Now, if you can do this in your head, that's great. Some of you can. If not, this is where long division comes in. So we're actually going to do 4.5. Remember, the number on top goes on the inside of your division symbol, divided by 1.5. Now, another step, you don't want to have a decimal on the outside usually. So you need to move this decimal over to make that 15. But if I do it here, I also have to do it on the inside to make that 45. Now this you should be able to do in your head. 15 goes into 45 3 whole times. Get my remainder of 0. So that means 4.5 divided by 1.5 gives me 3. That was part 2, divide my coefficients. Part 3, divide the powers of 10 by subtracting their exponents. So I have an exponent of a 5, an exponent of a 3. I'm going to subtract there and have a 10 to the second. I still have multiplication in the middle, so I should still have 3 times 10 to the second. And the last step is to adjust if necessary, but this time it's not, because this is in scientific notation. This number is between 1 and 10, so we're good to go. So that's an example where we don't need to use step 4. Now let me do one where we do. All right, so I'm going to go with 2 times 10 to the fourth divided by 5 times 10 to the second. So having my division problem, first step, I'm going to separate it. Draw the line right down the center. Now 2 divided by 5. Again, some of you might be able to do that in your head. If so, that's great. If not, you might need to do the division. So I'm going to do it. 2 divided by 5. Number on top goes on the inside. 5 doesn't go into 2, so I put a 0. Add my decimal place. And a 0. 5 goes into 20 4 times, and it goes in evenly. So I get my remainder of 0. That means 2/5, or 2 divided by 5, is 0.4. Divide here by subtracting my exponents. I'm not dividing them. I know this is a division problem. I am dividing the powers of 10, but I divide powers of 10 by subtracting their exponents. So I'm subtracting 4 minus 2, and I'm getting times 10 to the second. Now I do have to do step 4 because I need to adjust this. This number is not between 1 and 10. So I need to adjust. If I move this to the right, I make the number into a 4. 4 is between 1 and 10, so that's what I want. If I move to one spot to the right, that means I'm making this number bigger. In order to counteract that, I need to make that number smaller. So I'm ending up with 4 times 10 to the first as my final answer. All right, again, hopefully 2 examples is good enough. Let me know if you have any questions.